Hey, this is Ryan. I want to tell you about one simple change you can make to improve your GMAT score. And the change is this. You shouldn't do homework problems the same way you would do test problems. That's it. And that may seem like a simple idea, but I want to explain a little bit about why. Let's say you're scoring a 550 or so on your GMAT practice tests, and you want to be scoring a 700 on the real GMAT. Well, from now until then, something's going to have to change. You're actually going to have to develop and grow your brain. You're going to have to learn new things. You're going to have to practice new strategies so that by the time you get to the test, you're doing things that you wouldn't do before. And the mistake I see a lot of people make is they just do homework problems the same way they've done them 1,000 times in the past. And that's just reinforcing the same things that got them the 550 in the first place. So why would you want to continue to practice the things that already are not working for you? Instead, when you do the homework, you should attempt to do new things and try new strategies, even if you're uncomfortable with them at first, because then by the time you get to the test, you will become comfortable with them. So let me show you an example of that. We got a problem. Sophia plants a rose and tulip garden by planting 4 tulips to every 1 rose. There are 60 total flowers in the garden. How many of the flowers are tulips? So this is how I see a lot of people solve this problem. They go T to R is 4 to 1, so 4 to 1 ratio. And I know that the total number of flowers, I could call that T plus R, equals 60. And then they solve for T, so you get T equals 4R. They plug that in for T, so 4R plus R equals 60. 5R equals 60, and then R equals 12. Now the question asks us for T, so we'll just plug R equals 12 back in here, and T is going to equal 60 minus 12. So that's 48, and there's our answer. That's answer choice E. So that's great. I think that's a perfectly serviceable way to solve this problem. The only issue is there's something else you can do to solve it that we learn about in class. So let me show you that strategy. I'm going to solve this using what's called an unknown multiplier. And the unknown multiplier here is x. Okay, so 4x is going to equal the number of tulips, the actual number of tulips in the garden, and x is going to equal the number of roses in the garden. And if I add those up, I get 5x, which should equal the total number of flowers, but I know that that's 60. And so to solve for x, I just divide by 5, so x equals 12, that's the number of roses. And then 4x is going to be 48, that's the number of tulips, and I've got my answer. So this is the way we learn how to solve ratio problems in class, or one of the ways, and I'd like you to try it out for homework. Now the first way, by the way, is perfectly fine. You'll get the right answer. It's just you'll also want to know this other strategy by the time you get to the test. And not only that, you'll probably want to know how to do this strategy in your head without even writing all this stuff out, just by going, oh, well, 4 parts in 1 part, that equals 5 parts total. So I can just divide 60 by 5 and multiply it by 4 to get the number of tulips. And once you practice this strategy enough, not just on this problem, but on 3 or 4 different homework problems, and then you come back to those problems 2 days later and redo those problems in the new way so that you're really reinforcing this new strategy of using the unknown multiplier, that's when it's going to start to become second nature. And that's when you get to the real GMAT, you'll be able to execute this strategy because you've practiced it enough during the homework. Okay? So I really want you to keep this in mind as you're doing your homework, is the point of homework isn't just to get questions right. It's also to learn new strategies and learn new techniques and practice those so that by the time you get to test day, you've practiced new things that are going to help you develop and improve your score, not just practiced the old things that got you the same score you were getting in the past.